Hello, welcome to today's live stream. I am back in Maths World here in Liverpool after last week's trip north. I'll be back in Cumbria again next week. But it's lovely to be back among all these resources here. And if you want to ask me a question about anything I have here, there's a lot more to it than you can generally see in the live stream shots. And that's the organised part of the room. It's a real treasure trove of all sorts of stuff through the years. As last week, I haven't really publicised this. I'm just still keeping it quiet for now, but I'm going to stick at it and just be there week on week. And so if you do come along and watch us live stream, you should be able to get your questions answered in as much detail as you would like. So, what am I focusing on this week? Well, I got a lovely question in my Facebook group yesterday, which is the Expert Primary Maths Teaching Facebook group, where one of the members asked about extension work for Year 6 students who are flying through everything. And that was really helpful because I'm in the middle of scripting my videos on number for 9 to 11-year-olds. So we're talking here about the top year of primary. We don't want to push them through the secondary curriculum because they'll just be bored when they get to secondary school, and there's masses we can do with them. So I am going to write the extension questions into those videos, extension questions that flow absolutely naturally from the topic that we're teaching at the time, so it seems seamless and effortless to drop them in. These are all topics I've taught many, many times with classes with all sorts of challenges. And the ultimate achievement is when those kids who are engaging with these incredibly challenging questions aren't just the kids you expect to be interested in those questions, but are kids that you didn't expect to be there. And suddenly they're working way years above the level that they're supposed to be at. Because, of course, learning doesn't actually happen in this linear way where it is stepwise, if you plan for it and allow for it not to. All the techniques I show you for teaching in these series are low threshold, high ceiling techniques. They're much more powerful than the stepwise approach where you learn one bit of knowledge today and the next bit tomorrow and the following bit the following day, and you have to have done every bit in sequence. What I teach you isn't like that. Children can access these lessons whether or not they've been in the previous lessons. And that means in practice on the ground that you can see children suddenly shifting up several levels, several years in their learning, because when something just drops into focus that hadn't connected before. And that's something you don't see in ordinary classrooms that are using a stepwise approach. And you really have to see it and experience it to believe it. But once you do, it's the most wonderful thing. It's huge. It generates amazing social equity because often the children who've got gaps in their learning and are blocked by the stepwise system are the children with the most challenges in life. But that doesn't matter. It's just wonderful to see children just everything drops into place and suddenly they're absolutely alive and loving their maths where they weren't before. So the first video in this new series, which is on factors and primes, goes live at 9:30 this morning. And you can watch me at that live with me if you like. I'll be there to comment on it or to answer your questions on it. That one is a topic that could have been in the previous series, but I wanted to put it in this series because we want to keep children practicing their tables and their multiplication division facts between the ages of 9 and 11. And it's a lovely topic to shoot through everything during those 2 years. Can you just do me a factor bug for 46? Can you find common factors for these pairs? Great warm-up exercises all that time. So this first video doesn't have those extension activities. It's really meant to be a practice topic. But the next video, which is on primes, squares and cubes, that will have those extension activities, as will the vast majority of videos from here on in. There are going to be 26 videos in this series, I think, but that may change. Hoping to get them all live by the end of August, but that might kill me, so I might need to stretch it a little bit into September. Also going to do some overview videos for teachers going back to school of how to tackle a year group in the current situation with probably mixed, blended, distance and class teaching. It's really easy to do using the methods that I show. It's really difficult to do using stepwise approaches which fall apart so easily. What else was I going to talk about today? I think that's pretty much it. Oh, I've got some new worksheets have gone live this week, thanks to the wonderful Jeff Kutcher. He's been writing lots more worksheets. Oh, sorry, they're not quite live yet, but they will go live this week. There's a couple of worksheets on addition, subtraction, multiplication and division with decimal numbers to 2 decimal places that are from the 7 to 9 series. So there's one worksheet where those calculations are laid out of formal calculations and another where they're laid out horizontally and the children have to set them up themselves. And as ever, I have single worksheets with no answers, but on the bottom there's a link to Jeff's site where you can get the generative worksheets with or without answers, so you can get as many practice worksheets as you like on those topics. Jeff is doing an awesome job there, locked down in Spain, and I'm just so grateful to him, and they're great worksheets and great resources. Hey, I have a viewer. Who's there? And please say hi, and if you've got a question, please post it. You have my whole attention. This is just saying that I have one viewer, which is absolutely fine. I'm quite good at just talking to myself. That doesn't faze me at all. So there's those 2 worksheets going live this week. And then I've got one on division through array. Hi, JH, good to see you. Division through array is getting children to visualise division as functioning this way as sharing fairly and that way as sharing fairly through array. You could also do it through grouping both ways. It's just a very simple thing, and it helps to lay an extra foundation stone, a sort of linchpin for children's understanding of how multiplication, division and all the different models for them fit together. I've got a second viewer. Hi, are you going to say hello as well? It'd be lovely to hear from you. And if you've any questions, please post them. And the final worksheet I'll have going live this week, fingers crossed if it all comes together, is one on finding fractions of amounts, again through array. And you can find out where to find those worksheets in the About section for this channel. If you look at that information, the worksheets are all available for free download from my Facebook group, on the Times Educational Supplement site in the UK, and on the TPT Teachers Pay Teachers site in the US, if you've got accounts with those. But Facebook, it's just so easy to just go to the Files section of the group, scroll down, find the worksheet you want, and you're away. I've been updating my website as well, which is authenticmaths.co.uk. It's half done this week. I've put up pages that have a list of all the worksheets that are there so far, or most of them anyway, and links to where you can find them. And the series of videos, I've got a page there now for that. Actually, they may not be quite live yet, but I'll be sorting it all out this week, and I will be putting together some services for schools, just really simple CPD by Zoom, where you can buy my time just for anything from half an hour to a 2-hour session, just to inspire your teachers that they really can cope in the chaos going forward, and to explain the videos and how they can access them to give them the confidence and the skills they need to really thrive in September and love their teaching, no matter what chaos is thrown at them. And I think that's pretty much it for today. I think I'll do that. I'll normally chat for about 10 minutes if no questions come in, and I'll chat for up to half an hour if questions do come in, and then I'll try and always set up a new video to launch at 9:30 on a Sunday morning, so there's something new there for you. Hope you're going to enjoy it. If you're watching this back and you have any questions, you can post them here, or you can always post them on the videos that the questions relate to. I do pick them up, I do try and engage with them, and I can explain more about those questions on the live streams. Okay, I have another viewer come in. If you've got a question, please do post it quickly or just say hi and bye, because I'm going to hang around for about another 20-30 seconds and then I will log off this morning and get ready for the premiere of the Factors and Primes video, which is coming at 9:30. I'll be sitting around watching that, and if you post questions live as it goes live, I will be there to answer your questions. What else? Oh yeah, in the Year 6 extension. Hi Mama to Emily, how's it going with Emily? Is she doing okay with the maths? Have you got any questions at all? Any worries? If you can't put them into words just now, it is absolutely fine to just type your questions in your own time in the comments section. And it's quite easy to find my direct email address from my Authentic Maths website, authenticmaths.co.uk. You got a question, but I'll hang around and see what you have to say. Sometimes questions are personal and private and reveal too much information. So if you've got one of those questions and you want to send it through to me by email, I will do my best. I often have conversations with people in public. I typed it out and it was too long. Oh no. Do you want to send it to me in little bits? Do you think you could? It'd be lovely to... It wouldn't let me post it. Well, it's letting you post short comments. So do you want to post one question, one sentence at a time? That'd be great. And Mama to Emily, how are you getting on with Emily? How old is Emily? Got one or two other viewers have come in. If you want to say hi. Is there any videos or anything you recommend to get a basic understanding of maths? Now, the thing with primary maths is that what basic means really varies from person to person, because very few people have a clear understanding of the maths that children learn before the age of 7, because they don't remember it themselves. And when people are talking about basic understanding of maths, are they talking about their own understanding or their child's understanding? And there's all these complications in how to teach it. So yeah, you mentioned subitizing there. Subitizing is where you instantly recognise like 2 objects as being 2 without having to count them, or 3 objects, you can just see it's 3 and you don't quite know how you've done it. And there's all this kind of stuff in early maths. It's the most difficult part of maths to understand how children learn it and to teach. I have a child with severe dyslexia and dyspraxia and she can't grasp arrays, too many dots and different directions to visualise. Severe dyspraxia and dyslexia. Okay, first question is, with the dyspraxia, are you working on the dyspraxia specifically? Because to understand mathematics, children need a sense of shape and space. And if they have dyspraxia, that's what they're challenged with. They struggle to be aware of where they are physically in space and to imagine patterns in the way that we imagine patterns. So there's a key video on, if you go to videos on my site, on motor sensory integration, where I talk a lot about dyspraxia with an expert called Charlotte Davis. It's a joint video. I'm just wondering if her book is here. Should be. I can't just see it. I will try and dig it out for next week. But if you find that video, motor sensory integration, if you can't find it, okay, I'll come back to the early maths. If you can't find the video on motor sensory integration, if you post a comment here, I will try and find a link. But it takes you through some exercises you can use to diagnose your child. And Charlotte has a book of very simple exercises that you can do to improve your child's coordination and their awareness of physical space. So if your child is struggling that much, you really need to delve into trying to fix their dyspraxia as you work on the maths. Now, the techniques that I've given you, I have used with children with severe dyspraxia, and they can get them if you work through them systematically and slowly. But it is very, 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 very hard for them. And if you've got to the stage where you understand how hard this is for your child, and you've slowed down this much, you've actually made huge, huge steps forward, even though it feels like you're going backwards. So give yourself a big pat on the back. It's so, so hard. But parenting is like that. You know, every child faces big challenges, and even the children who fly ahead, they can hit their teenage years and completely collapse, and it stretches you in every way as a parent. So that's the video I recommend in the first instance. Go back to the videos, the series 1 videos on My Child Has Always Struggled with Maths, and if they aren't good enough, they point you back to the series on reception class. So Emily's mum, you asked about very early years maths. So a comment just came in there that I missed, and I'm only seeing them briefly. So the last commenter, if you could just post that one again. Emily's mum asked on very basic and early years maths. So I have, if you go to the first series for parents, it takes you through, it's designed for parents of 7 to 11-year-olds whose children have never understood maths at all. And it takes you right back to the beginning. And it also points you back into my series for 4 to 5-year-olds and 5 to 6-year-olds. There's complete teaching series for my training that I do with teachers in reception class in the UK, which is age 4 to 5, and year 1, which is age 5 to 6. So all of those resources are there, and you really need to dive into them, find your way around them, and work out where you're stuck. And then you can post me more questions. I wonder if there's a way I can access the previous comments and questions to see if are they all on my website? Well, you're currently on my YouTube channel, which is, if you're watching this, Rebecca the Maths Lady on YouTube. They're all on YouTube. And if you go to Rebecca the Maths Lady on YouTube, click subscribe so you can easily find it again. And then on the main page, there's quite a few series. If you scroll down, assessments to figure out where gaps may be. Okay, I'll come back to that. If you scroll down the main page, you see different series. There's a series, I've just started the series on number age 9 to 11. That's series 3. Series 2 was on number 7 to 9. And series 1 was there for the parents of children who've always struggled with maths. And then below that, you'll see there's a series for reception class, and there's a series for year 1, so age 4 to 5 and age 5 to 6, and they are targeted at teachers, but all the series I'm doing just now are targeted at parents and people who are working with small groups of children, and teachers find them very useful too. Okay, brilliant. So the previous question about diagnosing your child, you really need to look at those series and find one that you think might be the right one for you to look at and start working through it, and it will help you to get your bearings with where your child is. And if you get stuck with that, then please ask me questions there, and I can post links to resources when I more deeply understand what it is that you're struggling with. If you're asking me if there's a general test for where a child is with primary maths at any stage, then there are 1 or 2, but I can't quote them offhand. I'd need to research that, so that's why it's quite useful to have questions in the comment section of videos that I can look at when I'm not live as well. Okay, does anyone have any more questions? I'll hang around for another 30 seconds or so, and if nothing flags up, then I will finish up for today. It's coming up for 9:20 UK time. In 10 minutes at 9:30, the first full video in series 3 will be going live, and that is on prime numbers, factors, factor pairs, and everything to do with primes and factors. Luke's question was fab. Let's just see if I can see those questions. Live chat, all messages are visible. Okay. Oh, here we go. Right, hang on. I've just managed to bring up the rest of the questions. Let's just have a quick scroll through here and see if I've missed anything. So type of any gaps in reception maths. To be honest, Luke, I would just watch the series. The whole series takes 2 hours to watch start to finish. And they're in like 10-minute videos, so you can do a bit here and a bit there. And it trains your mind to... The work you then need to do with your child is very small. It's just little things, but it trains you up to be able to read a child at that level, and that's the best thing you can possibly do. And you will really know your child if you do that. Let's just see if there's anything there. Was that Luke? Yeah, so it is reception maths. And I hope you really enjoy them. People find that when you're taught how to teach and understand, when you're taught how to teach and understand maths to young children, it's really empowering and liberating and fun. And people assume it's easy, and it just isn't. Please could you remind me of the website? Is it all on YouTube, or do you have a website? So all the videos are on YouTube, and my website is authenticmaths.co.uk, authentic maths, all one word, .co.uk. And I'm just in the process of revising both the website and the YouTube channel about description so that everything links up. It doesn't quite at the minute. I've put some new things in this week that aren't quite live yet, and I'll be working on this week, and it should be live by next Sunday. Okay, I am going to sign off now because I know how hard it is to upload these videos as they get longer. I will be back every Sunday at 9. Next Sunday I'll be back in Cumbria, so I won't have all this equipment with me, but I'll be here to answer questions. You're really, really welcome, and thank you for caring so much about Emily's education, and I hope you enjoy being mum to her, just as I so much enjoy being mum to all my children. I've got one a year 6 child. I've been doing some fun stuff with her because I've got so many awesome resources that I can't possibly share with you, but extension work in year 6 I've been doing here with these dime solids, which are an ancient resource from an old classroom where you build up shapes and learn to... There's booklets that go with them that do isometric drawing. I think she's going to be an engineer, but we'll see. She's back at school now. Right. Okay, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now. If I know how to switch this off. I don't, do I?